Let's go. Life After 50, baby. The Half a Century Podcast with Sherelle. Snip. That's right. We're going to talk about vasectomies today. Are you going to get snipped at the age of 50? Why or why not? I got lots of reasons why you should, and I don't think I have too many reasons why you should not get snipped at the age of 50, especially if you already have kids and you don't plan on having any kids. That's the discussion we're going to talk about today because it's been on my mind lately and I've been thinking about it. I actually scheduled myself to have one April 1st. So for you men out there of age, you're over 50, second divorce, first divorce, or any divorce, or maybe you had kids already, you don't want to have kids anymore, why not consider a vasectomy? Why are you so scared? Are you scared? It's a simple procedure. Actually, when I was a medic in the Navy, I actually assisted in a couple of them during my service in the military. And it's actually an easy snip. And actually, to be honest with you, the treatment that most doctors give their patients after a vasectomy is a bag of peas. Yes, a bag of frozen peas. He tells you to go home, get your frozen vegetables out your freezer, and just put them on your sack. That's exactly the treatment they give you. And maybe some Motrin for just some discomfort. But for the most part, it's an easy snip. And a lot of us are thinking about it. To be honest with you, when you think about the highest percentage of men getting vasectomies, it's actually the older men. They have the highest rate. And as age increases, vasectomies become more prevalent. And it's because most men do not want to go backwards. You don't want to be 50 years old changing diapers. You don't want to wake up in the middle of the night changing diapers again. And if you do so happen to have a baby at 50 years old, that means you're going to be 68 by the time the baby is or the child can leave the house. So that means you got to continue to work until you get to 68. And the average cost to raise a child from birth to 18 is $297,000 to $332,000. That's not including colleges. That breaks down to about $16,000 a year. Do you want to pay $16,000 a year after the age of 50 for the next 18 years? So is a vasectomy worth it at this point? When I put those numbers to your head at the age of 50, now is a vasectomy worth it? Probably, right? Are you going to get a vasectomy? You're probably like, you know what? I'm going to get a vasectomy now. Could you imagine paying $16,000 a year for the next 18 years after you already paid for your other children or whatever family you've had in the past, and now you got to start over? And if you're married, you and your wife got to start all over, or if you're single, you got to start over. I mean, hey, that little snip, it might be worth it is what I'm saying. Why not? Now, let's just say you're in retirement, and all of a sudden you meet somebody and you do have a child. Now you're on fixed income, which means you don't work anymore. Your income is fixed. Whatever you have is whatever you're going to get for the rest of your life. That means you're going to have to start all over if you have a child. That means you're going to have to go ahead and get another job. Could you imagine? You already retired and you're going to have to get another job? Start over because you went out there and got somebody else pregnant? Come on, man. I don't think it's worth it. Make sure that you plan accordingly because these things can happen. This ain't something I'm just making up here. Like this is a reality that can possibly happen. And all I'm saying is why not? Why not consider it if it's not going to complicate anything? The vasectomy is an outpatient procedure, same day procedure. As a matter of fact, you can go home and drive yourself. You can actually drive yourself home. If you don't get put under, because there's two ways you can have a vasectomy. You can be put under, or you can have local anesthesia. You get the local anesthesia, you're going right back home and driving yourself home. You could be out doing whatever that night. You know, if you want to hang out with your friends, you can still do that at night. Right? So I'm just saying, like, why not consider it? Why not protect yourself? Having vasectomy, like, it removes the pressure in relationships because you can be upfront about not wanting to have kids. You know, it don't have to be difficult. You can say, hey, you know what? I got a vasectomy. That communicates clarity. Let them know. You prevent any type of future disagreements. and you're reducing the reliance on your partner to do contraception. You know, I'm not saying she's going to be shady or sneaky, but you ain't even got to worry about it. And you're going to demonstrate your own personal responsibility. So it shifts the focus toward companionship rather than like uncertainty. You ain't even got to worry about anything. That's why getting a vasectomy makes sense to me at the age of 50, and that's why I'm going to do it. Now, when I do have my procedure, I'll make sure to come back on here and let you guys know how it went. You know, how successful it will be and how successful it is, because I'm very confident in the procedure. Now, there was probably plenty of times in my life that I thought about getting it. I didn't get it. Not because I wanted to have kids. I just didn't go along with it, timing or whatever. I'm not sure. But now at the age of where I'm at and the plans that I have for my future and what I want to do in my retirement, you know, and travel and live in different places and not have the responsibilities and just make sure that I can provide for the children I already have and not worry about trying to save up more money for another child, it just makes sense for me. And I know a lot of brothers out there, a lot of men out there that of age of over 50 are thinking the same thing. It just makes sense. Financially, you're going to be more secure, more safe. You don't have to worry about anything. In your relationships, you can be very upfront. There's more clarity, less headaches. You don't have to worry about somebody trying to take your money or set you up if that's the way or that's the person you met in your life, because it happens. It happens to a lot of older gentlemen. They meet a young woman, and next thing you know, she's taking you to the bank. And this has happened. I've seen, as a matter of fact, one of my friends I know, he's 54 years old. He met somebody that was 33. She's 34 now. 20 years difference. She wanted to have a child. He's like, let's get married, or let me think about it. And she went ahead and stopped taking the birth control. And 2 years later, they had a child. So now he's 54. So there was 52. Yeah, so 54 2 years ago, and then now 2 years later, he's having a child. So that means he's going to be what, 72? Yeah, 72 years old when the child turns 18. Now he's in very good shape, very good health. You know, he looks very young, but I mean, who knows what may happen? You don't know what can happen in life. And who wants not be around for the child to graduate high school? Like, who wants to deal with that? So, I mean, and who wants to have that burden of a child at the age of 70 years old anyway? You know, and he always kicks himself. He said, man, I should have went and got a vasectomy, because I even told him, I was like, dude, go get a vasectomy. Like, she's so young, she didn't even have no children. And that was a big mistake right there. Dating somebody who doesn't have a child when you don't want one is a huge mistake. So get a vasectomy, fellas, especially if you're going to go out there and date somebody who doesn't have kids, because more than likely they're going to want to have kids. And if you're a successful man, you got yourself well established, your retirement, you got pension, or you got savings or investments, or even if you are still working, you can be possibly set up, or that woman won't have a kid because she knows you're a good man. You got your stuff together. So what you going to do? Not give her a kid? You going to break up with her? Or she's going to force you to have a child or be with her? So why put yourself in that predicament? Go out there and get a vasectomy. That's what vasectomies are for. They are making sure that you do not have children, especially if you already have children and you don't want any more. It prevents you, because you never know what's going to happen. So I told you the story about the man that was 54. Could you imagine if it was a man that's 84? I'm just saying, like, these things can happen. So obviously men in the 84s are not really, they have access to women that age unless you're like famous. But I mean, if you're 50, 55, 60, hey, you're still young enough to date somebody that can have children. And although women in their 50s can't have children, women in their 40s can have children. So if you're out there dating a woman in her 40s, late 30s, and God forbid you date somebody in their 20s and their childbearing ages, a vasectomy is definitely something you should be doing if you're out there dating a 20-year-old. So this is just another way to making sure that your retirement and that your life after 50 remains the same without any hiccups. You got to make sure that you live a peaceful life. And you got to make sure that you don't have to worry about financial responsibilities, children. So getting a vasectomy makes sense to me. And if you are thinking about getting a vasectomy, reach out to your local facilities, at the hospital. They even got urologists, because that's who does the vasectomy, is a urologist. Talk to your primary care, get set up, let them know. It's a simple procedure. You don't even have to do like a big old consult for it. You can do the consult over the phone. I did the consult over the phone. It was a video chat, and it was simple. I let her know why I wanted to get it done, and it was a couple questions, nothing really deep, and that was it. Set up a procedure. It's a 30-minute procedure. It's an outpatient procedure. It's very quick. Go ahead and do it, guys. That's going to do it for this show, but catch us on the next episode on Half a Century Podcast.